Hello and welcome back to another patch notes reading with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at the patch 6.5 preliminary notes. The full notes won't be updated with all of the crafting recipes and such until much later after the patch has gone live, as is per usually the case. However, this is in its entirety of all of the major things to look at, so let's go straight into that. They do note at the top here that additional features will be implemented in future updates via Lower Island variant dungeon criterion mode and Savage variant of that are added with Splendorous tools in patch 6.51, which has already been talked to be mentioned to be released after the launch of the FanFest in London. So we can expect a patch maybe 1 or 2 weeks after FanFest London. So let's go through this then. First of all, the major playable content. We have ourselves the new MSQ quests, which of course start in Radzat Han at X4.4 Y9.8, continuing therefore after the Dark Throne. The Dark Throne then the previous quests for the previous patch. So that's obviously got quite a bit of questing involved in that. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quests in total. Included in that is the new trial and of course the new main dungeon. Character portraits have been implemented for battle dialogue during main scenario instance quests, starting with the first quest of patch 2.0 through the quest The Company You Keep. With a release of 6.5, character portraits are now available in all main scenario instance quest battles. So if you wanted to see what they were doing next with that, that's essentially what they're doing. Chronicles of a New Era quests have been added, which obviously include Myths of the Realm, the third and final part of the Myths of the Realm Alliance raid series for this expansion, starting then in Mordona with Derek as the NPC to start, just outside of Mordona itself, Revenant's Toll. We have the Heart of the Myth. There are 2 quests total for this, which should be an interesting close to that quest line. I'm very interested personally to see how that goes. New side story quests have been added. This is called Wings of Hope. This requires any class or job level 1. However, it is in Old Charlian, so getting to Old Charlian, you'd need to be higher than that anyway. With Singing Way, this is actually part of the multiple mounts, basically a reward. This quest is for obtaining all of the linkses, including the new Links of Abyssal Grief mount with this patch, with the new trial added in that. So if you get all of the linkses, you can get the new dragon mount as a result of that by going to Old Charlian. Very cool stuff. Custom delivery client then. We have a new custom delivery client. You can start that in Old Charlian at Theopolden. There's 2 quests associated with that. And of course, you must have completed the side quest Go West Craftsman and meet a certain level of progress in the main scenario quest Going Ham. Going Ham is one of the more recent updates to the MSQ, so progress your MSQ if you don't see this. There is also Island Sanctuary updates with a new quest called The Sweetest Thing. This is from the Curious Courier, so when you go to your island, inside your island hideaway, you will find this quest. You need to have completed an ideal marriage and make a certain level of progress. So this is something that won't immediately show up. This will be one of the new ranks associated with the island. New levels, essentially, will unlock a new quest. So that's exciting. Usually that has like glamour rewards. New chapters have been added to New Game Plus. This includes the previous Myths of the Realm entries, as well as the Legacy of Louisoix Levier. If you know about this quest, essentially in the 2023 Rising event, which if you haven't done, by the way, you've got up until Tuesday to get the Phoenix mount, so go do that. If you don't know about that, go to Uldar, pick up the Siblings quest and get that done. Basically, the other side quest that gives you the Phoenix sort of plate and frame and such will actually be still there. That's still going to be there. So that's really cool. New items are available from Bicolor Gemstone traders. Funnily enough, that's why I capped mine out. So we'll see what those are on launch. Treasure Hunt, there's new rewards from Canberra skin treasure maps and Ophio Toro skin treasure maps. This is also including Excitatron 6000 and a shifting Gymnasian Aganon. They've also been updated with new mats because there'll be new crafted glamour and stuff like that. There are some new charge symbols for your free companies. It looks like a Phoenix pin opinion. I don't recognize many of these. We don't really dabble in this too much. It's not something I see every moment of the day. Maybe you see others, I do not, but that's cool. The following additions and adjustments have been made to subaquatic voyages. So yeah, we've got new areas, new ranks for our submersibles, up by 5 to 115 from 110 rank. And we've also got new items. So usually there's minions, there's furniture items, all sorts of things from underneath the sea. So we'll have to do those. We've got new housing items from a furnishing design contest. This is from 2019. And as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit, it's very difficult to see. It's kind of like a bureau over here. This is interesting, like a Crystarium wall hanging light thing, light shade. I like that. That's cool. And circular hole partitions, kind of like what you would find in a Hobbit home. Very excited about those, the Hobbit doors, as we shall affectionately call them. And it looks like a pamphlet stand, which looks amazing. Then we've also got some outdoor stuff, a new veranda and tufts of grass and flowers. Very nice. We've got this beautiful clock, this Amarottian almost clock. I think I remember seeing this in the contest originally. Very, very nice to see. We've got the new flower patch on the floor with Elpis flowers, obviously. And one of the new outdoors items is a step ladder that allows you to get onto the roofs of buildings. It doesn't look as tall as maybe I expected it to be on the original image, but it does look like you'll be able to get up to your balcony area without, having to make a jumping puzzle to get there. Additionally to that, other furnishings have been added that aren't part of that design contest, including what appears to be a tree stump loft, because this is attached to the wall, so this is a loft. Very nice. A new throne. That's very cool. Like, what is that? The Alamegan throne? We've got a Reaper flag on the wall as well, and we've also got pictures of various gods. I wonder if we're going to get the entire 12 as portraits from a side quest. That would be amazing. And we've also got a nice little carpet below there. This is a new item, outdoors item. We saw this in a preview image of Island Sanctuary. Very cool. Very nice outdoors fountain with planters built in. Again, combining items together to make new items. Very cool. New orchestrum roles have been added, presumably for all of the new raids and stuff and dungeon. New aquarium fish have been added. That's bordering on not being a fish anymore. I'm not gonna I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It's kind of like a cross between an alligator and some kind of dinosaur water. I wouldn't trust that in my tank. We've got new seeds for flower pots. Usually this also means you've got new necklaces or headbands or something like that, or earrings. These are lupins, so presumably there'll be a cheap craft with those as well to make accessories, and you can get them from your material supplier NPCs. The gold source has been updated with new cards. Of course, we've got the 12 as cards. This is awesome. I want all of those. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I want my Menfina card immediately. And new NPC opponents. Fantastic. Maybe that's in the Omphalos as well. Who knows? Miscellaneous updates then for Island Sanctuary. The Felicitous Furball will now offer felicitous favors. Yes, we heard about this. This is the implying a new currency as well as a new minigame in which players will be tasked with shipping certain handicrafts. Players may earn unique rewards by shipping these handicrafts within a designated period of time. Please note that a certain level of progress must be made in enhancing the Island Sanctuary to unlock this feature. So this is probably locked by one of the future upgrades to the island of higher levels than 16, basically. Felicitous favors are offered on a seasonal basis. Review the requisite handicrafts by either speaking with a felicitous furball or by accessing the Isleworks agenda. So here's a screen of that. We've got our rewards, which are these new envelope rewards, but new currency essentially that you can exchange for things. It doesn't look too difficult. It's just basically, instead of you trying to min-max what might be best for your island and carries, now it's let's just ship these specific items or try to build them into our thing to make the most carries so we can also get this currency. Awesome. And it also shows the seasonal, which means each week, essentially. And it shows the first and the second one. So it kind of gives you an idea of what to aim for. I quite like that. I'm happy with how that looks. It says an icon will display the Isleworks agenda to indicate whether a requisite handicraft is due in the current season or the next. Such handicrafts may be filtered accordingly in the supply and demand menu. Oh, I see. Look, so that's nice. So if you click on something, it's like, this is actually needed for the current season and the next season. And there's two different icons. That's awesome. And it will even show next to it on the supply and demand. So if you're trying to min-max, you can build around that. Speak with Felicitas Furball after shipping the requisite number of handicrafts to earn Felicitas tokens, which may be exchanged at the Horrendous Hoarder shop for various items. Only Felicitas tokens earned during the previous and current season can be retrieved. Tokens earned prior to the previous season will be forfeited. The max rank is going up from 16 to 20. That's significant, presumably because this is one of the last major updates for the island. New visions have been added, which are your quests. New items have been added that are offered by the Horrendous Hoarder NPC in exchange for island and seafarer cowries. New gathering area has been added, so maybe, where could we have? We've got a mine shaft now. Who knows? Maybe it's like a completely another section of island that we've not been to. I have no idea. Oh, maybe the cave expands. I'm not sure. New gathering points, new gathering materials, new structures. Speaking of structures, this is a new landmark, which looks really beautiful. It's kind of like a chapel, like a wedding chapel. But that's my guess. Anyway, very nice. Landmarks can now be rotated in 90 and 180 degree increments. So you can actually rotate them. That's awesome. That's a nice quality of life, especially if you're, trying to get a view of the sea, and it's like, oh, I'll build this beautiful tree house here, and then you realize that the chair on it is facing the wrong way. You can rotate that now. Excellent. New sanctuary crafting recipes, new produce. We've got melons by the looks of it. Very cool. And new animals. We've got a moor bowl. That's going to be a stinky situation. See what I did there. New materials can be acquired from foraging expeditions, new ironworks handicrafts. Workshop agendas can now be copied. So, of course, if you want to, you can subcommand or right-click or square on PlayStation, and you can copy the actual agenda. So, instead of you going, right, I want ironworks earrings, butter, blah, 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 and then I've got to do that for the other two workshops, and then the fourth one something differently, now you can just copy and paste them. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Square Enix. That is beautiful. New hairstyle options have been added for Vieira. We've got this hairstyle. Oh, it's the braided one. Ooh, that looks quite good, actually. At least on the female, that definitely looks good. Again, they're not long. Oh, they are two different hairstyles. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Well, I can't wait to see those in the game. Also got new hairstyle options for Rothgar. Both of them quite short hairstyles. I don't know at this distance if it looks like the ears are supplanted. We'll have to look in the game, like if they're just stuck on. Very nice. At least there's no immediate obvious gaps between the ears and the head this time. That's good. The color of the Endwalker icon has been adjusted in the duty support and trust interfaces, as well as the sightseeing log. Nice, nice. The following additions and adjustments have been made to Wondrous Tales. Oh boy. Players will no longer be able to accept a new Wondrous Tales journal until they've accepted rewards from a previously completed one. In the event players have not unlocked certain duties, the available objectives will change. That's huge. So instead of you going, oh no, well, now I've got like 4 duties that would be really good, but I can't do them because I've not unlocked them. Now, you will have stuff instead. That's good. Adaptive tech. It's going to be interesting to see how many people, especially new players, deliberately don't unlock certain content so that they get easier objectives. That's what I would do, totally. Prizes available for Chloe's gold, silver, and bronze certificates of commendation have been adjusted. We've got new rewards from Chloe stuff, which means probably Faux Hollow minigame. Look at that. That's awesome. That is obviously the fox himself. And we also have a necklace. Okay, that's kind of amazing, actually. I like that. Okay, that might be a reason for me to go out of my way to do faux hollows this time. Duties have been added. Lunar Subterrane, Hydalin's Call, Minstrel's Ballad, Zodiac's Fall, Minstrel's Ballad, and Pandemonium and Abasios. Oh, to the Wondrous Tales. Okay, cool. Cool. So you'll see those now. So we've got a new Lunar Tender mount, if you've never seen this picture before, which is awesome. This is a new image version of it, but we saw this on a live letter. That's fantastic. So that's confirmed to be the mount from Faux Leaves then. So a lot of people will be wanting to get that. Very cool. And of course, we've got the Singularity Reactor replacing Containment Bay Zit9. So we went from Zervan to Fordan. Very cool. Different Unreal Trials are available in every patch. Yep. We got a new emote. Ooh, that doesn't bode well. It's a sort of looking at the floor like we're sad, sort of thing. Maybe we're just upset, depressed. I'm not sure what this would be. Is it / depressed? That's my guess. I don't know. That doesn't bode well for the story if that's where it comes from. Battle system. Miscellaneous adjustments to action descriptions have been made. Lunar Subterrane has been added. The new MSQ dungeon. This is obviously for 4 players. 620 average item level or above. And of course, part of the MSQ. The Abyssal Fracture Trial. 625 average item level. 8 players, obviously. And the Extreme version. 640 average item level. Very cool. Okay, very, very much looking forward to trying that one out. And of course, the Unreal Singularity Reactor, which is available, it's synced down to 565 using the fantastic Mr. Faux Hollows minigame thingy. If you haven't unlocked that, go to Idleshire 7XY 5.9, unlock it from the Painfully Ishgardian Man. If you don't see your Unreal trial, you don't have to do anything on patch day. This just updates, so you'll see the new stuff when you go to your finder. Item level sync has been set to 570 in the duty to final day. This is a restriction to prevent people from going into said trial without talking about it too much, which is obviously the last trial of Endwalker itself, the base Endwalker, because a lot of people complained they couldn't see a lot of the mechanics. So the way they've done this is they've lowered the item level sync to 570. So interesting. You should see a lot more mechanics now, I think. The drop rate for the links of a Righteous Fire Flute has been increased. Very cool. Obviously, usually, you can buy this with a flame cloaked Arc Fiend totems, 99 of them now as well. So if you're still needing totems, or still needing the mount and you have totems, you can exchange those now. They've also increased the drop rate for the links of Fallen Shadow Flute, and a weekly restriction on rewards in Pandemonium Anabasios has been removed. This does not apply to the Unsung Blade for your weapon from a 12th circle. The number of Unsung Blades, however, has been reduced to 4 from 7, so even easier to get your weapon if you wanted to, if you're not already rocking the Hildebrand stuff or whatever. The Alliance Raid Dungeon Thalia has been added, which is 625 average item level. Of course, we can unlock that in Mordona with Derek. And I don't think there's too much of a craziness. There is a new coin from that you'll need to acquire once per week. The Thalia coin, and you can exchange that in Radzat-Han with Nezvaz as usual to upgrade weapons and things. Players will no longer be rewarded cracked Anthro clusters upon completing Eurosign. Interesting. Well, things move on. That's normal. The following adjustments have been made to rewards and alliance raids, taking into account their difficulty and time required to clear. So there is no longer any more item level cheese. People unequipping gear to be able to get into Labyrinth of the Ancient Circus Tower of World of Darkness. That was the way you would do it. You take off your gear and you would queue. Now there is no way of doing that. So it's based on your level now. And in result of that, they have also increased the amount of, let's see, the poetics are the same. The causality is new. 60 causality for clearing the Void Arc. And comedy, 8 of those as well. And it seems like they've done that for all... Oh no, the Weeping City of Mark. Dunscape gets 80 causality and 10 comedy. Royal City of Rabanasta, 80 and then 10 comedy. Interesting, 80 and 10 comedy for Ridorana. Orbon Monastery, because they know it's a little bit more taxing, 100 causality and 12 comedy, in addition to the usual 100 poetics. Obviously. Copied Factory, 100 causality, 12 comedy. Same for Puppet's Bunker and the Tower at Paradigm's Breach. Oh, the Tower at Paradigm's Breach, you get 120 causality and 15 comedy. And the same for Aglaia, 120 causality, 15 comedy. And 120 causality, 15 comedy for Eurosign. So they've made it so that you can get rewards now, a lot more rewards than you normally would. And there is definitely incentives to actually do a lot of this content as well, even though a lot of people might consider it more difficult. So as a result of the Alliance Raid Roulette basically being fixed so that you can't just cheese it, they've also give more rewards. They said they were giving more rewards for the roulette as well, so if you're worried about that. So very cool. I don't think that applies to EXP. They don't mention that, but it would be nice to think. The items required to enhance equipment, purchased with Allegan Tomestones of Comedy, Divine Twine, and Divine Shine, can be purchased from the following vendors. So this has added that to the Sacks of Nuts vendors in Old Charlian and Radzat Han. And of course, with the Aglaya, Eurosign, and Thalia coin, as we said, you can exchange those for the weapon upgrade material in Nezvaz in Radzat Han. Very cool stuff. Following duties added to the Raid Finder, Abyssal Fracture Extreme and Singularity Reactor Unreal. The Voidcast Deus Extreme has been moved from a Raid Finder to the Duty Finder. Players will now receive the power of the Echo in the event all players are incapacitated during the following trials. This includes the Voidcast Deus and Voidcast Deus Extreme. So they've added, let's see, on normal, maximum of 50, and Voidcast Deus Extreme, maximum of 25% Echo. Very cool stuff. And Abysso Savage, rather, the Echo has been increased to 20% healing potency, damage dealt, maximum HP, etc. Very cool stuff, as is usually the case. Duty Ruler Expert has been changed, obviously. Goodbye, Lapis Monalis. Hello, Luna Subterrane and the Ether font. All together now without Lapis Monalis in there. Duty Ruler Expert has been increased to 620 required average item level. We've also got for Duty Roulette for level 90 dungeons, Lapis Monalis moves into that, which has a new item level of 590 from 575. Abyssal Fracture and Duty Roulette Trials, the usual kind of stuff. Item level restrictions based on class or job at the time of duty registration will be applied. So, the way this works now, as we mentioned, to get around the cheese, is at levels 50 to 59, you need to have a required item level of 70, 60 to 69, 175, 70 to 79, 305, 80 to 89, 435, and 90, 565. So, basically, when you queue, it's going to, let's see, item level restrictions based on things. I'm not sure how this works necessarily, how that's limiting you, but yeah, because at the time of duty, based on class or job level. Oh, I see. So they give you this item level, so it's not based on your gear anymore for that Alliance Roulette, basically. Yeah, so if you're level 50 to 59, you've got a 70 item level, basically. And if it lets you queue for, you know, like 60 to 69, and you've got 175, the likelihood of you getting the earlier stuff can still happen, but it's less likely. That's interesting. The duties listed within Duty Roulette Mentor have changed. Luna Subterrane and the Abyssal Fracture and Thalia. 625 for Duty Roulette Mentor now, gone up from 615. New Stone Sky Sea. Adjustments have been made. So this is obviously with duty support adding the Drowned City of Scarlet the Burn and Gimlet Dark, which obviously adds up all of the rest of the MSQ dungeons for Stormblood. Now you'll be able to play through the whole game through the MSQ. The Drowned City of Scala has had a bunch of changes changed to its bosses. Same for the Burn and the Gimlet Dark. This is all to make it so the AI can deal with the mechanics. It's going to be very interesting to see how Mist Dragon has changed. That's the one I'm most excited to see. But yeah, you can expect them to feel like new dungeons for the most part, I would imagine. PvP then. The following adjustments have been made to the PvP profile. A notification message will now appear when opening the PvP profile window if there are unclaimed Crystalline Conflict seasonal rewards. PvP help is accessible from a question mark button in a PvP profile window. Very nice. Series 5 is beginning, with Series 4 ending on the 3rd of October. We have ourselves this beautiful new outfit. Or at least I think it is. It looks way better in this image, even though it's a very low resolution image. We've got the, I presume this is the male version and the female version. Very little differences, apart from obviously size there. Looking very beefy. Is this a Rothgar or a Rogadin? I think this is a Ro, probably. It's got like a head replacer though, so there's a good chance. that Viera and Hrothgar would be able to wear the helm, which is good, I suppose. Series 5 is held from 6.5 until the release of the expansion, during which time you can earn Series XP and increase your Series level by participating in any PvP duty, as usual. Increase your Series level, unlock the rewards. Series 4 rewards can only be claimed until the end of Series 5. So if you've earned rewards but just not pressed the button to claim them, you can actually claim them when the patch comes out, but you cannot progress towards unlocking Series 4 rewards. So if you're still, a little bit away from that mount in Series 4, get it done before Tuesday, essentially. That's what we're saying. Crystalline conflict changes now. There's a circle appearing on a field indicating the point at which the losing team must reach with the tactical crystal in order to take the lead. This is pretty useful, especially for seeing how far you've got to push the tide of battle and hopefully stay on a crystal in that moment. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the gauge. So now we've got the background of the leading team's gauge will now flash. The font color in which checkpoint clear progress is displayed has been adjusted. The line indicating the point the losing team must reach in order to take the lead has been added. So you can see that little yellow line on the timeline thing. And the remaining time that the losing team must be kept out of the tactical crystals ring for the match will now be displayed during overtime. If a losing team fails to enter the ring during this time frame, the match will be conceded to their opponent. So there's actually a meter for this as well. There are settings that can be adjusted to always display the affiliated team's progress on the left side of a progress gauge. You can adjust this in the character config menu, followed by the HUD tab. Very cool. Settings can be adjusted to always display the affiliated team's base on the left side of the map. Adjust this setting again in character config and HUD, and there are also settings to be adjusted to display a timer counting down to the end of the match. So you can turn all of that off, customize it to your own will. Honestly, PvP changes, these are really great stuff. I'm looking forward to this season. Then we have new items. So this is the Alliance raid gear. A bit grainy. We can try and zoom in, but you're not going to get much. There is a high-res image, at least from the front on a special site. And there's the back of the gear as well. Looking pretty good. I'm excited to see what that's like on my character. Probably it's going to look 10 times worse than that stuff. At least on mine. New recipes have been added. So this is new glam. I'm not sure what this exactly is. It's like almost Wagnerian sort of design in the legs. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is. It's got this weird like back window triangles. Not personally a fan of that one, but I'm sure some people will absolutely love that or get the reference of where that's from. It's got this very interesting tight collar as well. Obviously, recipes added to the patch notes later. Following items can now be equipped regardless of gender. So if you wanted to wear the Omega M or the Omega F stuff, you can. There are no restrictions now. So if you like the design of one of them over the other, they're slightly different if I remember, you totally can now. That's really cool. A lot of people will love that. Very cool. It needs to be a bigger list than this, but cool. Very nice. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the armoire. So if you purchase stuff from the online store, you can store it in the armoire. This is awesome. It'll appear in the costumes, fashions, and mascots categories on the armoire. The category in which stored items can be found will now be showed upon storing them. And a name search function for stored items has been added. I asked for this a while ago, the ability to search through your Glamour dresser and functions on your armoire. Amazing. Stored items can now be glamoured from the armoire interface. Excellent. When accessing the Glamour dresser, items can now be displayed by category. That's nice. Certain items can now be sold, desimped, or submitted for expert delivery missions. Oh, this is unrelated, sadly, but cool. New stuff to desimp and submit. That's presumably because of the new dungeons. The following changes have been made to the crafting log. Custom delivery recipes will now be unlocked upon completion of the applicable quests rather than at set levels. Oh, that's cool. The custom delivery recipe list order has been adjusted. The recipe search feature will now display up to 100 results at a time, and the custom deliveries section of the crafting log will no longer display if custom deliveries have not been unlocked. Some nice quality of life changes there to the crafting log. I do like the unlocked via completion of quests rather than set levels. That does make more sense, I think. Crafted item level 640 equipment can now be exchanged and upgraded to eye level 650 equipment. So this uses the Hanish certificates of grade 3 import and divine rain, if you don't know about that. Essentially confirm the requisite number of Hanish certificates of grade 3 import and divine rain for your desired gear by speaking to Rashti in Razat Han, and you can exchange the eye level 640 equipment for 650. Very cool stuff. I'm happy about that. Flying text will now be displayed for items and item quantities obtained via materia extraction, ethereal reduction, and desynth. So instead of going, how many of that did I get, and having to look in your inventory, you have a nice flying text for that. That's cool. Players can now speak with Margaret to complete new custom deliveries. 12 custom deliveries can be made each week. I'm hoping that the rewards are going to be good. A lot of people are hoping that it's Charlian related, maybe the forum robes. Who knows at this point? I'm happy if we get anything. Or nothing, of course. I can't wait to meet Margaret. Yeah, essentially there's the satisfaction levels to work through. And I believe you can unlock glamours for her at the end as well. This is unlocked in Old Charlian. New items have been added to gathering points. New collectible bonuses added to certain legendary nodes. Cool. A node's location effect will now be displayed when gathering collectibles. That's cool. I like that. Location effect perception. Gatherer's boon chance 52%. That's handy. The following adjustments have been made to ethereal reduction. You may now etherically reduce the same type of item one after another automatically. So instead of you having to go, okay, press this, okay, reduce that. Okay, now I've got to do the same thing. If you have a bunch of these things, you just press automatic and it goes. I like that. I like that a lot. The order of items in the ethereal reduction window has also been adjusted. Nice quality of life change. New fishing holes, new teeming waters, new fish. The new fish guide changes. Newly caught fish will now be marked with a green dot, so you know which one you just fished. That's quite nice. You may now access the fish guide directly from the chat log when catching a new species of fish, so presumably there'll be a clicky link on it. That's cool. The level cap for desynth has been increased from 640 to 650, to be expected. And new mounts, oh my goodness. What is this? What is this? That's so cool. Well, obviously it's a mandragora that's sort of spouting flowers. Is this from Island Sanctuary? I'm kind of hoping that's where it's from. It would fit in perfectly. I like that a lot. That is awesome. Very cool. And we've got new... Oh, look at that barding. Whoa. That's the Zeramus barding? Dude, that is amazing. If it's any reflection of how good the fight's going to be, regardless of that, that is so cool. Obviously, if you dyed your bird like a darker color there, maybe a gray sort of color, that's so nice. That is a nice barding. That's going to fetch quite a bit of gil, I think. Usually this stuff requires the matte from the new Extreme to craft, so bear that in mind. New minions. We saw some of these before. We've got a Mammoth with his life preserver ring, his floaty ring, having a whale of a time. He's got goggles on his chest. That'll be a new reward probably from Island Sanctuary. New fashion accessory. This is also probably Island Sanctuary. We've got carrots and strawberries. No, it's just carrots. Actually, this could be Leporit related. There's a lot of carrots. I'm thinking this is Leporit related in some way. Maybe new bicolor gemstones? Not sure. It's gorgeous, though. I want all the parasols, to be honest. Okay, now we're on to system changes. In order to prevent server congestion immediately after the release of 6.5, we are implementing multiple field instances for Amarang, the Graktika Greatwood, and Radzat Han. So, we are on the first again. It's interesting they mention Amarang. Well, the Wall of Light's there. The Graktika Greatwood. I guess I was right then about the pixies, the corrupt pixies. We'll see. We speculated on a previous video looking at the trailer, so I guessed that they were under Graktika. I might be right. Interesting. I'm not normally right. The following additions and adjustments have been made to retainers. So new items from Quick Exploration, new Retainer Exploration Ventures have been added, new fish from the Waterside Exploration 28 venture. Very nice. Following actions can no longer be performed in battle. That's good. There was a bit of a bug, wasn't there, originally with this? So you can't desynth, ethereal reduction, materia meld, material retrieval, dying, or glamours. If you don't know about this, they had to hotfix disable this stuff permanently in certain places of the game because people were negating knockback mechanics at a certain point in high-level content, let's say, ultimates, by using these abilities in combat, which shouldn't work anyway, but they did. So now they definitely can't be performed in battle anywhere. Very, very interesting. The following actions and adjustments have been made to achievements. So there are new achievements and titles. If you already fulfilled the requirements for the new achievements prior to 6.5, these are awarded upon accessing them in the achievements menu in 6.5. So there's a new I Find That, Miner 8, and Botanist 8, and Fisher 8. Very cool, very cool. Certain duties and trials will now count towards completion of achievements. So, yeah, I'm not going to read all those out, but obviously you've got some new duties to do, your, thank you achievements for mounts and things for tanks. The following additions and adjustments made to shops. Items added in the most recent patch can now be viewed by checking the Show Only Recently Added Items box. This is something that was there before. Items that can only be obtained after fulfilling certain conditions will now be marked at shops. Oh, so if there's something like this fantastic faux framers kit, which we didn't know about, by the way, 600 of these, I want that so badly. There is a requirement for that. So presumably if you hover that or click it, it will tell you. Class and job icons will now display in the pull-down menu when searching for items by class or job. That's nice. That is nice. If you do not have enough currency to purchase an item, the item will now be grayed out. Certain shops that originally did not allow for such display options will now also be affected. That's nice. That's good. A confirmation prompt will now display if a gil reward for gear repair or material melding will cause a player to exceed the maximum gil limit. Okay, interesting. Buttons have been added in the following menus to switch gear categories. So there's left and right arrows on the Glamour dresser, switching between armory chest sections. So you no longer have to tick the drop down and click on something. You can just left and right. That's nice. It just saves like a few extra seconds. And on controller, that's LB or left L1 and RB or R1, because obviously we have Xbox players now on the gamepads. Teleport fees from the 13th moon have been adjusted. Does that mean increased or decreased? Teleport destination tabs can now be sorted by region or the expansion. So you can change this whenever you like in teleport settings menu. So you can basically order them at the release of patches as well. That's cool. And expansions. The following adjustments have been made to display names. Players can now toggle the display of job or class icons in public areas and instances separately. Icons can be set to display on yourself, your party, and alliance members or other players separately. So yeah, if you like the new icons, which I do, but maybe you're in like an area that isn't a duty, maybe you don't want that to necessarily be in front of your name, you can turn it off and toggle it. That's lovely. I like that. You may now disable the edit mode command when using the cross hotbar. That's on the hotbar settings followed by cross tab. Enable edit mode. Oh, that's interesting. The maximum number of elements displayed on the HUD layout has been increased from 5 to 10. Wow. So basically they've doubled the complexity that you can set your heads-up display to be showing. So you can have 10 items now, or 10 elements. Wow, that's actually impressive. The following changes have been made to group posts. So there's new stickers and new frames. So we've got all sorts of new stuff to play with, which is always nice. The new stickers, there's quite a lot of new ones there. These are brilliant. Someone had a lot of fun with this image. The Mora. Amazing. Oh, we got the Felicitous Furball as well. Nice. Look forward to that. The following additions have been made to Adventurer plates. So new accents have been added. And we've also got categorized filters for plate elements. So we've got solid white, solid beige, solid ivory. So there's lots of different variants now. I wonder how many there is. Can't wait to see that. The following additions have been made to portraits. So new accents and poses. Oh, new poses. I wonder which ones. Hopefully some of the newer emotes. The duties that can be recorded, like anyone cares. Anabasis, the 12 Circle Savage, can now be duty recorded. I mean, it's a feature that's kind of defunct. I don't see the point anymore. Oh well, just make it accessible to everything or just don't add it. It's really good, but who's really going to make the most of this for old content? Come on. The following additions and adjustments have been made to Party Finder. Gold Saucer has been added as a category and Quest Battles has been removed. Oh, interesting. Quest Battles has been removed. I'm surprised at that one. Why would they remove that? During a state of inactivity lasting 5 seconds or longer, the cursor will now be hidden during the following: cutscenes, group pose, idling camera, the ending credits, disabled UI display, and title screen movies. This is quite nice. Normally what I do is I move my cursor off the screen, like as much as possible, but sometimes you can still see it. So it is nice to be able to do that. I do like that. The animation of gauges that fill when holding down a button, such as when returning to the starting point of a duty, have also been adjusted. So maybe this means they're quicker. I don't know. A new gamepad type has been added under the gamepad settings. This is obviously for Xbox Series X and S controls. So this is for Windows and Mac, so you can plug in your Xbox and see all your buttons if you want to, your Xbox controller. Oh, it's a slump emote. So the new text command. So they've confirmed it's not /depressed Meoni, it's /slump. Hang your head in defeat. This does not bode well for the MSQ, if that's where you get it. Oh boy. Following options been added to character config menu. So there's new tabs and settings for PvP on Crystalline Conflict. Oh, we talked about all of this before. Cool. System config. We've got new gamepad types. Players with only Final Fantasy XIV and Realm Reborn registered to their account will have the registration of Stormblood applied to their account automatically. The registration of Stormblood will be applied to accounts starting on Tuesday, October the 3rd. Please be advised that it may take several days for account changes to be reflected visually on the MOG station. So there you go. If you're worried about, your current status of only having a Realm Reborn or whatever, you're going to have Stormblood enabled on it. So that's awesome, isn't it? That is nice. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the free trial. Level cap, obviously, up to level 70, including the new expansion of Stormblood added to that. Ultimate raids are not included in the free trial. Now, a lot of people might look at this and go, no, because I heard a lot of people in the Ultimate community who wanted to do like a free trial Ultimate thing. That's not going to be possible now. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but at the same time, it was a part of Stormblood, so I don't know how I feel. I don't know, there's going to be a lot of discussion about that, isn't there? In the event that server congestion is preventing travel to a particular world, requests to visit the world will now be cancelled automatically. Estimated travel time will now be displayed when traveling between data centers. To prioritize homeworld logins, players may now be restricted from logging in with characters visiting other worlds during periods of server congestion. If your logins have been restricted due to server congestion, return to your homeworld via the subcommand on the character selection screen and try logging in again. Additions have been made to the auto-translation dictionary. Additions have been made to PS4 and PS5 autocomplete dictionary. New trophies for PS5, if you're into that. New music, sound effects, and voices, obviously, for the new stuff. The Final Fantasy XIV Online logo will now display at the title screen for players with only a Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood registered to their accounts. That's a strange change. Okay, I don't see what's changed though. Really, the following adjustments have been made to the launcher. So the old launcher will no longer be available for you. So if you're still using old launcher, I'm sorry to say you need to upgrade to the new one, which a lot of people don't like. 6.5 onwards, the new launcher will automatically replace the old one. The option in the config menu allowing players to switch back will also be removed. So if you like the old one, tough. Enjoy the new one. In preparation for the Cloud Data Center stress test, the Cloud Data Center will be added to the Data Center selection screen. Access will be available only during the testing period. Further details regarding the Cloud Data Center stress test will be released at a later date. This, as they mentioned during the latest live letter, part 79, is to alleviate stress when the expansion goes live by having like cloud data centers. a lot of this is like temporary and they're needing to test it. So that's going to happen in 6.5. So there's some interesting things on here. I'm interested to know what people think about the free trial not including ultimates. That's a big one. A lot of people would have expected it to be the opposite. I'm excited to see all of the new rewards. For the most part, these quality of life changes are fantastic. I don't think there's anything that I can think of that's missing immediately other than please give us more Glamour dresser space. But I think that's probably, you know, an inevitability of every patch. Even if there was more added, I'd want more. I'm looking forward to the new rewards. Yeah, but the barding is probably like the coolest thing. 100%. The mounts are nice, but this is sick. Anyway, let me know what you think, what you're most excited for. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know this has been a long video, but so are the patch notes. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.